So we classify helminths, or we group those parasitic worms according to the shape. What do they look like? How big are they, or their size? How poorly or well developed are their organs? Do they have hooks, suckers, or other some type of special structure that allows them to attach on the organism? How do they reproduce? And what do their eggs and larvae look like? Eggs and larvae in these organisms are very unique to each species, so they're completely identifiable just by their eggs alone. We identify, so we tell which helminth is which by finding the worm. That would be one of the most obvious ways. And that's not always so easy. A lot of times it's harder to find the worm. Or by IDing the larva or the eggs. And eggs is really the most common way because a lot of these eggs are typically passed through the feces. So we see two different organisms, and these are both within the phylum, the Platyhelminthes. The first one is your cestode, or your tapeworms. These are segmented worms, and you can see all the segments. They have a specialized structure, and it's easiest just to call it its head, but realistically it's called the scolex. And the scolex has this mechanism for attachment. So they can have suckers, they can also have hooks or some other specialized structure on this scolex. In the middle of the tapeworm are segments that contain immature eggs, so they're not quite ready. They can't actually be used to make new organisms. The farther down this worm we go, when we get to the end, are segments with fertile eggs. So the way this tapeworm or cestode reproduces is these segments break off. That segment breaks open, releasing those fertile eggs. On the other side, we have the other group in the Platyhelminthes. We have the trematodes, or the flukes. So these are non-segmented worms. And both organisms have incomplete digestive systems. So where food goes in, it is digested, and what waste products are left have to exit out through this same opening. So they have a blind pouch for digestion. There's no place for it to go once it enters. It has to go back out the same opening. So your trematodes have both male and female reproductive parts. So we have the testes and your seminal receptacle. We also have the uterus in this organism. It has a ventral sucker, so it actually has a mechanism or attachment on the center, and then at the top where the mouth we have the oral sucker and its esophagus and pharynx where it takes in its food.